So I spend a fair amount of time on this channel discussing breeding shrimp. But the other day someone asked me a very good question. How do I know which shrimp are the boys and which shrimp are the girls? And in this video, I'm going to tell you 6 different ways you can tell if your shrimp is a boy or a girl. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Richard and I'm a shrimp keeper based in the UK. So I'm going to share with you 6 different ways you can tell if your shrimp is male or female. Now these methods are in no particular order, although the last 2 are the most reliable. The last 2 are completely foolproof, so stick with me to the end. So the first way we can tell if our shrimp are male or female is based on colour. Now in most of the animal kingdom, it's the males that have all the colour. They have the bright feathers. In the fish world, it's typically the males that have all the colour, and the females tend to be silver or grey or drab, or don't quite match the standards of the males. But in the world of Neocaridina shrimp, it's the females that have all the colour. Now typically, if you have a deep, dark red cherry shrimp, that will typically be a female. And if you have a clear, translucent cherry shrimp, which has some colour on it, but isn't nothing special, nothing to write home about, that's typically a male. Now the problem with this method of sexing is you do get nicely coloured males. You do get poorly coloured females. So colour itself is not a completely foolproof method of sexing your Neocaridina shrimp. Typically, if you have a collection of shrimp, the deepest, darkest, reddest, bluest, greenest, whatever colour strain we're talking about, the most colourful ones will typically be female. The least colourful, the most translucent ones will typically be male. But as I say, this is not a totally foolproof method. One way new shrimp keepers often fall foul is they'll go to the pet store and they'll want 10, 15 shrimp, and they will choose the 10 or 15 most colourful shrimp they can find. The reddest, brightest, most opaque shrimp in the tank. I'll have that one, that one, that one. And what they end up with is 10 or 15 females. When it comes to breeding shrimp, you have to have some males and some females. So if you're going to the store to buy some shrimp, make sure you pick up some of the less colourful ones. The chances are you'll then have males and females. Now method number 2 for sexing your shrimp is based on the overall size of the shrimp. Our female shrimp are typically larger than the males. A mature female will typically grow to about 1.5 inches long, which is 3.8 centimetres, whereas the males will usually max out at around 1 inch, which is 2.5 centimetres. Size is a great way to sex your shrimp. The problem is you have to know you're looking at mature specimens. If you just take a random shrimp and it's 1 inch long, that could be a female that hasn't fully developed. Now what we can do here is we can start to stack these methods up. If you look at a group of shrimp and you take the largest, most colourful ones, there's a good chance they will be females. If you take the smaller, less colourful ones, there's a good chance they will be male. But as I say, to use size as a method of sexing, you have to know those shrimp have maxed out. You have to know they are sort of 5, 6, 7 months old and aren't going to grow anymore. Otherwise, it's not an entirely reliable method of sexing your shrimp. Before we move on to method number 3 for sexing your shrimp, if you're looking for more in-depth information about sexing shrimp or breeding shrimp or keeping Neocaridina shrimp in general, then why not check out my new book, the Neocaridina Shrimp Handbook, which is due to be released on the 1st of November. For more information or to download your copy, click on the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. Method number 3 for sexing your shrimp is the body shape. Female shrimp, if you were to take a female shrimp and cut it in cross section, you would find its body represents like a capital D on its side, straight across the back, swollen in the abdomen. Whereas the males tend to be much more cylindrical in body shape. Now, again, as a standalone method, it's not easy, especially if you're in the pet store looking into a tank of cherry shrimp. It's not easy to say, oh, that one's got a rounded abdomen, that one not so much, female, male. But when we start stacking these methods up, when we take a good sized shrimp with lots of colour, which also appears to have that rounded abdomen, we can start to say, well, that the chances are, on the balance of probability, that there is a female. This one here, he's smaller, he's less colourful, he doesn't appear to have a rounded abdomen. The chances are that's male. And the more time you spend keeping shrimp, breeding shrimp, looking at your shrimp, you will build up the ability to look in and go female, male, male, female, male. It does. It starts to build in your mind. At first, you're looking at this thinking, well, how the heck am I going to know which one's got a D-shaped abdomen? But over time, you just build up the ability to look at them and sex your shrimp. It gets easier the more often you do it. So the first 3 methods we looked at for sexing shrimp can be very subjective. What one person thinks is really colourful, one person might think is not so colourful. The next 3 methods become more reliable and more certain that the shrimp you're looking at is either a male or a female. So method number 4 is how large the body plates are on the abdomen of the shrimp. Now our shrimp's bodies are divided into 6 segments, and the first 5 segments on the females come down further than on the males. We typically describe this as the females as their skirt because it comes down like a skirt. So if you're looking at a male shrimp, typically the side plates come down to its body and stop. Whereas on the female, they do come down further and they do start to cross over the section where the shrimp's legs are. If you were to hold up a male and a female shrimp, mature shrimp, there's no doubt their abdomen sections are slightly longer. And of course, they use this to protect the eggs. The females hold the eggs as they develop under their bodies for sort of 25 to 35 days. And these elongated plates help protect those eggs and help the female hold them in place. The males never hold the eggs, therefore they've never evolved the slightly longer plates. So method number 4 for sexing your shrimp is the elongated body plates. Now, the last 2 methods for sexing your shrimp are absolutely foolproof. Method number 5 is the so-called golden saddle. Now, our female shrimp, they have ovaries in their bodies just behind their heads where the eggs develop. And as these eggs develop, the female shrimp begin to have a patch on their back. Now this patch is typically white or yellow or golden. And as it moves, as the eggs ripen, it moves slightly down the body. It looks like they have a saddle across their back, which is why it's often referred to as the golden saddle, or we say our shrimp are saddled. Now, only females develop eggs in their body. If you have a shrimp with a golden saddle, that's a female. There is absolutely no doubt. The males would never have a golden saddle. And one caveat here is if you took a shrimp without a golden saddle, it doesn't necessarily mean it's male. You could have a female which doesn't currently have eggs developing inside its ovaries and therefore doesn't have a golden saddle. But any shrimp with that saddle, guaranteed female. One slight problem with this method is if you have some dark coloured shrimp, if you have some Bloody Mary shrimp, if you have black rose shrimp, if you have blue diamond shrimp, these real opaque shrimp, you won't be able to see the golden saddle. I have in the black rose tank here, I have baby shrimp. At no point did I see a golden saddle on any of those shrimp because they're completely opaque. You can't see through their bodies. So the golden saddle is a great method for sexing shrimp where you can see the developing eggs. My final method for sexing your shrimp is probably the most foolproof method. No matter which shrimp you have, this method will allow you to identify the females. And that is whether or not the shrimp is holding eggs. Now, when our shrimp breed, the eggs pass, as I say, the golden saddle down the back of the shrimp. When she's ready, when she's mated with a male, they come out and she passes them under her legs. She holds on to the developing eggs for between 25 and 35 days. It depends on the temperature of the water. It's usually around 30 days for most of us. She holds on to those eggs underneath her body. And we shrimp keepers refer to that as she's buried. We refer to them as berries. If you see a shrimp buried, you see a shrimp holding a clutch of eggs under its body, you know that's a female shrimp. At no point do the males hold on to the eggs. As discussed previously, they don't have the elongated abdomen. They don't have the elongated side plates to be able to hold on to the eggs. Any shrimp you see holding eggs is a 100% guarantee that's a female shrimp. Of course, as with the golden saddle, a shrimp not holding eggs isn't necessarily male. It could just be a female who's not holding eggs. It's that simple. But if you look into your tank and see a shrimp holding eggs, that's a female. Now what we can do here is when we're looking at a group of shrimp, is we can say, well, we can start to stack all of these up in our mind. We can take a colourful shrimp that's about 1.5 inches with the elongated side plate, perhaps with the golden saddle, and we can say female. And we can take a shrimp which is less colourful, it's smaller, it doesn't have a golden saddle, it doesn't have the elongated side plates, it's not holding eggs, and on the balance of probability, you could say that's a male. Now, because you can never be 100% certain whether a shrimp is a male or just a female that's not mature, not brightly coloured, not holding eggs. That's why it's best to get, if you're buying a group of 15 shrimp, I would get 10 to 12 what I think to be females, and between 3 and 5 males. That way, if you get 1 or 2 wrong, you've still got some males in the mix. Now, I was unlucky enough when I bought my orange really shrimp. I bought 10 shrimp, that's all the store had, to be fair, I had no choice, and I ended up with 10 females. I'm now in a situation where I need to source some more orange really shrimp to get some males to add them to the mix. I was unlucky. Had I have had the chance in the store, I hopefully would have picked some out and increased my chances of having males and females. But such is life. Now, for those of you who have made it this far in the video, I'm currently working on a completely free 5-day email course about shrimp keeping. Every day for 5 days, I will send you an email covering a different aspect of shrimp keeping. I'm hoping that course is going to be ready in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And if you would like to be the first to know when that course is out, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, I'll ask YouTube to recommend another video here you might like to watch. Thanks for watching.